Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. In this one I wanted to cover the process of building my 22 by 24 detached garage and cover what it cost and try to provide some insight for anyone trying to do something like this themselves. I started this project in 2021. Lumber prices were crazy, but I still managed to keep everything at a pretty reasonable cost by outsourcing some things myself and doing a few things myself as well. Let's get into it. So here you can see some photos of the space where the garage was planned to go and my cars before I actually had the garage built. In this space there was obviously a fence, and there was also a small shed that I ended up just negotiating with a tree crew to tear the shed down and haul that off while they also took a tree down. These photos here, you can see the tree and the process of taking the tree down. This was a huge hackberry tree that was not a great tree to have on your property, so I wanted to get rid of it. There you can see the space with the tree down, and here you can see the start of the construction process. So I basically hired a contractor to do almost the entire garage. Here you can see the concrete subcontractors getting started with the foundation and the slab for the building. This was a 22 by 24 footprint monolithic slab with that apron included there that ties into the driveway. Here you can see it poured and looking nice and smooth and finished. Here you can see the lumber package getting delivered to the house. And now the start of the framing. The framers were great. They basically had the whole thing framed up in essentially a day. I think by the time we had the trusses on and whatnot, it was probably 2 days total. But here you can see the sheathing going on as well. I had the structure built with a normal 16-foot garage door, side entry door, and 2 windows. And those are all things I negotiated with the contractor to try and, get some natural light in, but also keep the cost down as well. Here you can see the trusses on, and then the structure with the trusses and the house wrap done as well. Getting closer, nice little sunset pic there. And now you can see the inside. This is with the roof sheathing on. The contractors got to the siding and started working on trim from there. That whole process, once the framing started and to having the siding on, was probably about a week. It was all very quick. Here you can see the windows installed as well, and it actually starting to look kind of like a finished building. The electricians got started at this point, so you can see the trench that the electricians dug. That was a pretty hefty portion of the total bill. I think it was around $7,000 or something to have electricity run from my house over to the garage, a box installed in the garage, as well as some LED lights and a few outlets. Here you can see the garage door installed. I actually got super lucky on this one because they gave me the wrong garage door. It was supposed to be a solid door, and they just kind of showed up with a garage door that had windows in it. So hey, I didn't say anything. And now we are moving into the garage fully painted. I actually outsourced the painting myself. I probably saved a good $1,500 or so just by finding a painter myself versus going with the painter that my contractor had quoted. Just a little tip for anyone, there's certain things that you can see on a quote from a contractor that look like they're inflated. In this case, it happened to be paint. So I went and I found my own painter, and he did an amazing job, and I saved myself some money. Here you can see the start of the garage floor. This was me doing some cleaning and some acid etching on the floor. So again, this is something that I decided to go take on myself and do epoxy floors myself instead of having my contractor do them. So I used a Rust-Oleum rock solid product, which I saved some money on by sourcing locally. I had to use 2.5 garage kits, and everything turned out great. This is polycuramine epoxy. You can see the supervisor on the job here. He monitored the whole thing and made sure the job went smoothly. So this was the garage pretty much complete. I started pulling my cars into it. This was a pretty awesome lineup I had at the time, my E46 M3 and my R33 Skyline. Some little things I started doing once I had the actual garage complete was putting up pegboard, which is necessary, especially the black stuff, to get all my tools hung. And then some work that I did outside, just kind of finishing. I already had a cement walkway, so I found the same pattern and poured the rest of the walkway myself. One thing I wasn't happy about was the concrete contractors dumped all their backfill in the yard. As you can see here, I negotiated with my contractor to come in, get rid of a bunch of it, regrade, and then give me some sod. So looking much better after the sod was installed. What did the whole thing cost? The structure was $32,500. That was including the slab, groundwork, permitting, everything else. I did the paint, outsourced that myself for $1,600. That included trim and the siding. Floors, I mentioned I did that myself as well. That was $300 for the epoxy floors. So that gives you a grand total of $34,400, not including landscaping or all the small finishing work, but basically structure, slab, complete and done. And here is the last shot of the garage. We have actually moved, so I will get into that in some videos coming up here this year, but I'm looking at doing a garage build V2. I will bring you guys along for the whole ride this time without just showing kind of pictures. Thank you guys very much for watching. We finally hit 1,000 subscribers. It's amazing, and it'll allow me to do some really cool things with this channel. So thank you guys again, and we will see you in the next video.